Hey guys, Chris here from the AM Life. Welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, as promised, how to develop kick-ass balance. So we decided that we're going to make 4 videos and we're going to call it the kick-ass series, 4-part video. The first one will be on how to develop kick-ass balance. The second will be on how to develop a kick-ass gait. Now a bit more than a year ago, I did make a video about gait. And I'm going to add a few tips to that. I'll revise those and add a few tips to that to further improve our gait. The third one will be on how not to, when you stumble, is how to recover from a stumble so that we don't hurt ourselves. And then because we all stumble, it's going to happen. And the fourth one will be if you then have to, if we stumble and we go down, is how to minimize damage, physical damage, how to best fall in such a way that I don't break another bone or wipe myself out totally. All right, guys, so I think just a bit of homework. First of all, I'm not a biokineticist, I'm not a physiotherapist, I am not a chiropractor, I'm definitely not a doctor, so I cannot tell you about the small little intricacies right, of body, mind, muscle, function. But what I am is I'm an amputee. I've been disabled for 20 years. Of those 20 years, I've been an amputee for just over 16 years now, and I've learned a ton over that time. And although this is not about being an Olympian and having the best possible gymnastic balance or anything like that, and I have an immense respect for all our Olympians, I think they're incredible, but I, like most of us, I'm just your average amputee, and this is really about maximizing our quality of life and to be able to get out there and go for a walk, enjoy nature, just enjoy where I live, get around as functionally as possible with as little hurt as possible and as much enjoyment as possible. It's really simple, but I promise you, if you put these to use and you practice these, it will make a difference. And it's really not about doing it once, it's about a bit of consistency, and you will see an improvement in your balance if you continue to do these, because we develop those little muscles and we develop some muscle memory on how the body responds to wanting to fall, and that all becomes intuitive after a while, and just becomes a way, a part of our being, part of how we do our life. All right, guys, also really important is safety. Safety is always first, and what we don't want to do is, in the process of learning, is to go and hurt ourselves, right? This is about learning how not to get hurt, so I don't want you to get hurt. So practice safety at all times. Very importantly, protect the good limb. You don't want to hurt the good limb, the sound side, and certainly don't want to hurt the residual limb either. So bear that in mind and make sure you don't put yourselves at risk in any way. I also think very importantly is, and I cannot stress this enough, I always talk about this, is footwear, footwear, footwear. It's astonishing that we can spend tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes some people hundreds of thousands, but on fantastic prosthetic equipment and the best socket and the best foot and all the best liners, and then we go and buy footwear for a couple of dollars and they're no good. It really compromises everything that we've put into proper prosthetic legs. So very importantly, good footwear with comfortable, good grip. And then lastly, something that's really important is just how long you've been an amputee for. Obviously, there is some sort of a correlation between when I lost my leg over time. I developed my balance much better, and a lot of things have become intuitive. Then in the beginning, I really had to be mindful of and really had to think of. So, be kind to yourself and be patient with yourself. Some of these things will take time, but with practice and commitment, they'll become pretty natural. They'll come to us pretty naturally. All right, that's enough talk. Let's kick on. Okay, so just to recap, first exercise, good leg, foot up. Be aware of what's happening in this leg. Straight spine, keep your hips nice and forward, keep the head nice and neutral, straighten the spine, and imagine there's a hook up here, sky hook, pulling you up so everything is nice and straight. And just practice standing like this. Don't do it for too long. I would suggest in the beginning do 30 seconds and then rest a little bit, 30 seconds again, rest a little bit, especially in the beginning when you're an amputee. And again, guys, please practice safety. If you have to keep a chair close by in case you fall to recover your balance, then do so. Rather safe than sorry, right? Okay guys, exercise number 2, we're just going to go onto onto the one leg, very simple. We're going to lift the prosthetic leg just a little bit, put out the arms to improve your balance, and then we're going to do a star with the prosthetic leg. So I'm going to go forward a bit, back to the good foot, sideways a little bit, back to the good foot, to the back a little bit, back to the good foot, slightly forward, cross over, and back to the good foot. And we're just going to keep on repeating that. Front, side, back, right side. Front, left side, back, right side. The right side is usually the most difficult one. Okay, and just repeat that a few times. And eventually, possibly if you can do it with your arms next to your side. Front, side, back, right side. Okay, and bear in mind what I said earlier is if you have to keep your gaze, try and look dead ahead, but if you can't, if you struggle, find a focal point just about 5 meters ahead of you. It really does help a lot to maintain better balance. All right, let's go to number 3. So for exercise number 3, you're going to need some sort of an obstacle, something you can place in front of you. So I'm just going to use my backpack. Okay, so I've got a backpack here, something that's nice and firm. And really what I'm going to do is to practice to be able to lift this leg, maintain my balance while I move it. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take it to the side and just pull it over like that. Pull it over, and that's to be able to, when we move around and there is something in front of you and you're struggling to step aside, is to be able to lift your leg yet maintain your balance. Just swing it over the obstacle. All right. Up, above it, and back to a neutral position. Above, back to neutral position. Nice and simple. Again, do it for about 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, and keep on doing it until you feel your butt starts burning a little bit from that muscle holding you in place, and then relax. For most of you, this is probably going to seem really simple, but for a lot of us that are either new amputees or maybe we're not that fit, or we haven't really been training our balance, this might seem a little challenging. All right, guys, the next one we're going to do, you're going to need a ball for, okay? And all we're going to do really is we're going to play around with a ball. So you're going to get yourself into one position, sound side on the ground, prosthetic side up, and just to toss the ball around a little bit. Just play with the ball, hand to hand. Use a larger beach ball if you can, and just toss it up and around a little bit. See if I can balance this on my head. Whoop. Whoop. Okay. The idea is that my mind's doing many things now. I have to focus on where the ball's going, what my hands are doing to be able to catch it, not to drop it, and at the same side to keep my foot solidly in one place and to maintain my balance. So the idea is to take my head and my mind away from what this foot is doing and to be able to maintain my balance even though I'm busy, my eyes are busy with something else, my hands are busy with something else. Even better, if you can get somebody to play around with you and throw the ball at you and throw it a little bit off center every now and then, so you have to reach around to be able to catch the ball, even better. Right. Alright guys, for the next exercise you're going to need a piece of masking tape, or if you have floorboards like I have here on your surface, the idea is to walk on a line, one foot in front of the other. So quite simply, let's do this. You can see this to an extent. So quite simply the idea is that I want to walk and maintain my balance and stay on this line. This is where you might need to have somebody next to you or have a chair somewhere along the line to hold on to if you tip over, because it's more difficult than it looks for most. Certainly it was for me, or still is for me. So the idea is keep the hands out, start off with the prosthetic side down and take a step forward with the sound side onto the line, okay? Now I'm looking at the camera, which makes it even a bit more difficult. The idea again, if you want to maintain your best balance, is keep your gaze at 3 or 4 or 5 meters ahead of you. but step onto the line every time, catch your balance, roll forward, slant leg forward, but the idea is to keep the line center of the foot at all times. All right, if you feel brave enough, you can try and do it backwards. All right, up. That's a little more difficult, but just don't step outside of your comfort zone too soon and injure yourself, please, guys. Now, we can continue with this exercise, and what we're going to do is heel to toe, heel to toe. It's also a bit more difficult than you would imagine, but this time I'm going to put the heel of the prosthetic leg against the sand side first. Take a step forward, use the arms to balance, and take the sand side in front of the toes of the prosthetic leg, and continue doing that all along your tape line on the floor. All right. You can see I'm trying to, and even this is good, is to try and focus the mind on something else while you're doing another thing to be able to learn how to multitask. Okay, guys, next exercise, and it's really just a counterbalance exercise. And the idea is to stand up straight and to lean forward, lean to the side, and counterbalance with the prosthetic leg and the arms, the body, the hips, whatever you need. So for instance, I'm going to assume a forward position and just see how long I can maintain my balance for, like this. Likewise, to go backward a little bit, lift the prosthetic side, try and maintain my balance. So it's just a counterbalance thing, body counterbalancing the prosthetic side, okay? You can even lift it that way a little bit, body counterbalancing, and then cross over, pull it this way a bit, body counterbalancing. In any of these exercises that we do, very importantly to keep in mind is a quick way to recover is just to dip the sand side knee a little bit. It lowers the center of gravity and it just gives you a bit more spring to recover whatever it is that you need to recover from. Okay, guys, we've got one more to go. All right, so finally, the last exercise, you need a ball, simple ball. A tennis ball would be perfect. I've got a harder ball here, but a softer ball is in fact actually better. The idea is to put that ball down on the ground and initially keep a chair handy. Now I'm going to stand on the prosthetic side and put the sound side on the ball. All right, and now we're going to roll the foot forward, foot backward, foot forward, foot backward. If you feel like you're going to fall, you can always dip your toes and recover your balance. This is the most difficult of all of them, and this is probably the one that'll teach you the most in terms of balance. Okay, and then when you feel a bit more confident, you can start doing circles with the ball underfoot. And the idea here is to put as much of the weight as possible on the prosthetic leg side and keep it very lightly on the ball, and in that way to practice your balance. All right, guys, that is our story for today. I hope you've learned something, and as I said at some point in this video, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a specialist, I'm not an especially incredible athlete, far from it. I'm a regular guy who enjoys walking, who doesn't want to fall, enjoys being an amputee with the best possible quality of life, and these exercises are extremely useful to get to that point where we can be the best that we can with our, not the best that we can with our prosthetic leg, and enjoy as much of life as we possibly can again. So guys, thank you for joining me for today. I look forward to seeing you guys for the next videos, and until I see you next time, be safe, take care of yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, and for notifications of this next video, hit that little bell next to the subscribe button. Alright guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.